Oh shit, you made it to episode 2. And now that can only mean two things. One, you're dying and you kind of want to go out angry, or you actually want to see if big people have gravy for tears. Now, ladies and gentlemen, grab your headphones, don't forget your multipass, and come on in because the show is about boarding. Welcome back to the Gruesome Element. I am your co-host, Martin Drew, and the show couldn't be complete without my other half, Mr. Eddie Gein. Yes, sir, Mr. Eddie Gein himself, y'all. Second episode, man. How do you feel?
I'm hungry.
You're always hungry. Ladies, he's single. Well, I hope you're ready for today because I want to talk to you about something special. And of course, some news about video games and movies that I want your opinion on. So, you ready? Let's get this show going, man. So, I don't know if you remember, the first day at our job that we used to work off is about to come up for me. Now, I want to know, man, what was your first impression of me, bro?
I don't honestly know. I remember approaching you and being like, hey, I'm just letting you know about like, company policies or stuff like that. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'll try to remember it, dude. And that was it. After that, we didn't really talk that much. It wasn't until like our other friend, Mr. Johnny Depp, he kind of introduced us better.
Rest in peace, Mr. Johnny Depp.
Rest in peace. Don't look for his gravestone.
Because you won't find it. But yeah, I know what you mean, man. My first impression of you, I have to say, you're like kind of a little stickish, bro. Like you got a bug up your butt. But you know what? No, but after a while, you know, with our good friend Johnny Depp, I kind of was on a different side of you. You make me laugh, bro. And I'm glad to call you my baby. We're not gay. We're not gay. We're not gay. Anyways, do you remember your first impression of our good friend Johnny Depp?
Yeah. So what happened was I went on break and I saw Johnny Depp just like sitting there. He was just watching something on his phone. I'm like, yeah, no, what is that? Watching like a Cinder Massacre video. And I was like, hey, you watch AVGN or whatever? And he looked at me kind of shocked. Like, I'm watching the review of a movie or whatever that James was doing. That's kind of how we just hit it off.
And, well, my first time I met John, I was going to try to be buddy-buddy with anybody. He was making me laugh, and that's the first thing I could remember about him. The first thing I remember him saying to me was, I never made love to a man, but you're the first. Sounds like John, right? But, of course, out of that, I wanted this dude around me, honestly. I wanted our good friend Johnny Depp around us. I wanted him to make me laugh 24/7. Out of that friendship that we had, birthed our channel, which is Death and Vengeance. And that podcast was based on our love of pop culture and the weird shit that we will watch as well. Speaking about pop culture, let's go ahead and get into today's segment. Are you excited for the games of 2020 to come out?
I know we talked about a few of them last episode, like Spider-Man, pretty much a sequel of the first one, and the first one was like really fucking good. It reminded me of like Assassin's Creed and kind of like those kind of games.
Very good designs on some of the villains, Rhino, Vulture, Scorpion.
Yeah, and like you said, it had a good story to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see what they do with it. Hopefully they add like improvements to the first one. The thing I found about the first one is some of the stuff was kind of repetitive. Even though they had like random little stuff that you could do, it was still like a lot of fun. And I just hope this game like doesn't deter that with like lack of story, like we said in the last episode.
Yeah, like I said, there's going to be a shorter story to the game. But there's another game we were talking about on the first episode, and it was a game that we were watching together. It's called Maneater. Now, if you don't know what Maneater is, it is an open world shark game. It's being held as best shark game ever. Now, do you know if there's any other shark games out there? Wasn't there like a Jaws game back in the 80s or 90s?
I think there was a Jaws game, like an old school Jaws game.
Yeah.
But it was on like Atari or something.
Something.
Yeah, this is completely different. What I would compare it to is like those Tony Hawk games.
Pro Skater?
Yeah, you'll be collecting stuff all the time. The game kind of makes you want to collect everything.
Yeah.
Just so that you can get stronger and stuff.
So that's the beauty of it. On this game, you play as a female bull shark. Now, there's not that many games I see you play as a female. By consuming as much as possible, you become powerful and large. The great thing about this game, it does everything as an episodic episode for a nature show, which is why we have the narrator. It's kind of funny on there.
The narrator, I forget his name, but he comes out in Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing. You know, have you played this game yourself?
I haven't played it. just because the downside of watching streams and stuff like that, you'll see someone like 100% complete the game. It'll kind of make you like not want to play because like, oh, I've already seen the whole game, so why should I play it? But if it goes on sale or something, I'll buy it.
I think so too, because right now it has to be like what, $59.99?
I think it's lower than that. I think it's around like $39.99, $49.99.
Okay. Alright. But you know what also talks about sharks. Do you have a favorite shark movie?
Other than Jaws, Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah. You know what I liked about the first Deep Blue Sea? My favorite quote, beneath this gliding surface are gliding monsters.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the reason why I don't go out to the ocean. I have a fucking phobia about going on the ocean. I mean, here's the fucking funny thing. My girlfriend wants to go on a fucking cruise. I don't want to do that.
Well, not during this current health situation.
Oh yes, the isolation period. Speaking about isolation period, that actually leads into our next one. Next video game that I'm very interested in, and it's The Last of Us Part 2. Now, have you played the first one?
No, I haven't. It's always been one of those games where I thought it's like overhyped. At some point, I'm gonna watch gameplay of it just so that I can see what the hype is about. The Last of Us, eventually I'm gonna watch gameplay of it or maybe download it or something.
It's really good, story driven. I cried so many times in the fucking game. I'm a crybaby.
Well, you're not the first. I've heard a lot of people say that like it's a really good game and it's really emotional.
I love watching the reactions of people playing that game, and it's so funny. But guess what? The Last of Us Part 2 is an astonishing achievement. Secret demonstration of how the video game genre comes in merry, heart-stopping gameplay, gorgeous environment, and storytelling, and of course, anxiety. Now, I have played a bit of The Last of Us. I can never finish it because, one, it's very emotional for me. And spoiler alerts, in the very first game, it deals with here in Austin. And it's so funny because you get to see 71 and it heads into 35 as well. So that's what's funny about it.
Is there a lot of traffic though?
Yes. There's a shitload of traffic. Fuck Austin traffic, dude. But yeah, so it spoiler alerts, in the first one we see a very traumatic death. And when I first saw it, dude, dark room, I was crying, I had the covers over my head and everything, man. And I was really heart-stopping. Let's go into the second one. I think we're gonna see the death of Joel and just see Ellie. But get this, Ellie is, in the second one, is becoming very driven.
Independent?
Yeah. And what also makes her independent is that she is a LGBT game character. Surprisingly, there's not that many characters out there like that. I've seen clips on the trailer. It looks like she's really driven to be independent on her own. And actually, what's funny about this game? It's a vengeance game. So we're looking at Red Dead Redemption 2 all over again.
So it's pretty much like an open world kind of game, or like you can like pretty much like Red Dead Redemption or something.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna do so much in the open world until probably later on in the year. But speaking about years, man, let me go into the next one because I've been waiting so long for this one to come out, and it's called Cyberpunk 2077. Man. It was supposed to debut back in April, honestly, of this year, but it got delayed to September 17th. But then when this whole isolation period started, it pushed it back again. So now we're going to have to wait to November 19th.
They keep pushing it back every single time. I think this is probably the third or fourth time.
It's the third time it's getting pushed back. And you know why? Because they're making a great market value. Because guess what's coming out on the next gen console?
Well, they had said that Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be backwards compatible with all the current gen consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they still want to like see what the next generation consoles are going to be.
And you're actually getting to a good point. The reason why they're doing that now is they're releasing the main storyline and the character this year for the holidays, right? But next year, they're working on like the multi-person paradise. They're working on the platforms. They're working on a lot of stuff too. It's actually been finished. It's been finished, like, and it's just being delayed because they want to push it towards this marketing campaign for the next gen. Next year, we're hope to see an open world. We're hope to see multiplayers, online gaming, and
maybe like crossplay between PC and consoles.
That's what they're saying. They're looking to do multiple platforms, beyond platforms.
That's actually pretty exciting because like, if you want to see it, we can do like some kind of gameplay between me and Maj and Drew and their characters.
Oh God, no!
Because I think from what I understand, that this game is not going to be like completely co-op. You're basically on your own, like for most of the game, and then there's going to be certain sections where like kind of like Dark Souls, where like you can invite a friend to like play with you in like in a mission or something to help you out. So if you want to see it, we can stream us playing Cyberpunk 2077.
But if they want to see it, you gotta click that like button, hit that thumbs, click that subscribe, click that bell, and make sure that you sign up for us. Now, the video games are, in my truth, are becoming movies now. And now movies are basically becoming second gen kind of stuff. Like they're the best cousins of the world.
There's a lot of examples of like good, like really story-driven games, like Detroit Become Human. I don't know.
Oh my God, I have it. I played it, dude.
Probably like the only game where like I like teared up like towards like the ending and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, man.
I know you tear up like every single moment.
I'm like Kevin Smith, dude. I fucking cry at everything. That game, yes, I teared up through the whole game. It is very amazing. But you know what I feel? I feel like the world now can look at that game, look at Detroit Become Human, and let's see how we can apply that to what's going on in the world right now. Because let's face it, we're in a shitstorm. And because of this isolation period, there's been a lot of progress that's been on hold, and that's going to lead into our next subject, movies. As of June 18th, 2020, these movies are coming back to do big-time productions. First movie that we're going to be looking at that's working right now is Avatar 2. So we're getting a sequel, and it's been like so many years since we've seen the first one.
Since like what, 2010, 20?
So yeah, it's been like almost like 12 years or something. But it says the long-awaited sequel will restart in New Zealand, since the countryside is almost isolation-free. Of course, we can't say the other word. It says now since filming would restart, they would bring hundreds of jobs, millions of dollars to the country. But the good thing is that they're going to play it safe. So now, on this production, they're going to start having on-site doctors. They're going to have 150 hand sanitization stations. They're going to have like everything. They're going to make it more health so we can get this movie out for next year or the year before. They're putting a lot of movie in this, and of course, we're going to see the returns of Sigourney Weaver, Zoe Saldana, and Sam Worthington are coming. Plus, we're going to get 2 new co-stars. And that's going to be Kate Winslet and Vin Diesel. Apparently they're coming in here, and they're actually looking for a 2021 December release for this. So hopefully the production gets going, and we can see that. Now, the other movie that's coming back to filming is, guess what? The next fucking Jurassic World. And this one's going to be called Dominion. This is going to be the 6th one in the franchise. It is a big production. It has resumed filming in the UK next month, so next month we're going to see them. The UK is going to be having like a lot of people coming in and out. Since Universal stated that they are spared $5 million in safety plan, which includes, like I said for the first one, Avatar, on-site doctors, 150 sanitized stations. Of course, they're going to have Chris Pratt and Dallas Howard reprise their roles, but guess what? We're going to see Sam Neill, Lauren Dern, Jeff Goldblum reprise their roles. Now, I think that we might see them die. Because if you look at it now, like in the history of movies that come back, we always see those characters that come back, and what happens? They die. I feel like he may survive. And he'll probably, you see what we did with the world, it's like, it's very tenable, or chaos, is everything, and all that. But hopefully, that's going to be in a 2021 summer release. So hopefully we get that coming up. But get this, do you remember Baz Luhrmann? Do you remember that movie Leonardo DiCaprio did called Romeo and Juliet?
I think so.
Do you remember Moulin Rouge?
Yeah.
Okay, and The Great Gatsby. So the director who did all those three movies is coming back again. He's working on a new movie, and it's, guess what? It's an Elvis Presley biopic. And now here's the thing: Baz Luhrmann is doing an Elvis Presley biofilm. This one will star Tom Hanks, and of course playing as the legendary King. But this film was put on pause because Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson were diagnosed with this isolation virus that's been going around. Now, but they have since recovered, so they are kind of filling in the clear. Filming is going to start shooting soon, but they say that they're heading towards a November 2021 release. What do you feel about like having an Elvis biopic? Do you think we need that now, or do you think that should have been done earlier?
I've never really cared about Elvis, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he was the king of rock and roll, but I mean, Johnny Cash was the man in black for us.
I mean, like, he did lead an interesting life.
How I feel about this, I don't think we need another biopic. I think we need more kind of really story-driven, kind of, uninhabitable movies. I feel like we need more storylines out there that are going to be presenting. But here's another movie that's going back into production, Mission Impossible 7. Now it says here it started filming earlier this year, but production was put on hold late February due to the isolation virus. Production tried to continue filming back in the UK, but was put on hold completely. Director Tommy Gomali told BBC Radio that they are hoping to go again from September and still continue to visit the countries that they're planning to do for the filming. And of course they're looking for another November release in 2021 that we're hoping for. Another movie that's been put on hold and now it's just starting to pick up is Disney's live action version of The Little Mermaid, which I don't know if you know, it's been getting a lot of heat.
Yeah. Because
they wanted to make The Little Mermaid an African American female actress, and I don't understand why we're getting heat for that. It's kind of demeaning in a way that people are really succumbing to this low. They're like, oh, my Little Mermaid was a white woman. Well, why can't a Little Mermaid be played by a black girl? Mary Jane Watson from the Spider-Man movie was played by Zendaya, and she's an African female too. Like, I don't understand why we're getting this backlash, but they said that due to the isolation virus, filming was put on hiatus, but hopefully we'll start filming soon. They're shooting for a holiday release in 2021. And we all know Disney rules the world. Disney has the world in its palm and fisting us, man. Another movie that's coming back in production, The Batman. Of course, we know that Ben Affleck relinquished his title in the cowl, so he's not going to be the Batman. But they got Twilight fucker Robert Pattinson. You know what? Give me your opinion about this because I feel like you have something to say.
This sparkling ass. I don't know. Like, honestly, I just want to see what he'll do with it. It couldn't be worse than Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah, it really can't. But it says here, since Ben Affleck relinquished his title, Patterson has put on the cape and Crusader moniker, and he's laying a lineage of famous actors who's done. He's been going through rigorous training to get himself in filming and production of wearing the suit, being strong. So filming actually just started last week in Glasgow. So there's actually pictures going around of a stunt driver who is to believed to be in the backseat driving around a motorcycle throughout the whole city. And guess who they got to play Catwoman? Zoe Kravitz.
And what's she in again?
She has done what's that series? The Divergent series. She was also in. She has a show on Hulu, and it's called Simplicity. I think it's called.
Oh, the really hot one.
Yeah. So she's gonna be playing the role of Selena Kyle. I feel like this is gonna be a good thing. She is actually a good actress. Of course, her father is the famous Lenny Kravitz. we all know who's been an infamous sex god and had his dick fall out of his pants during a concert. Which, I don't know, we could get the footage for that.
Kind of the thing I'm more worried about is like how they said that this was going to be a detective movie.
Yeah, that's because he is the world #1 detective.
Yes, I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like a Sherlock Holmes kind of movie.
I don't know, but you know what? Sherlock Holmes is actually coming back for a third film too.
The one with
Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. They're coming back again for one final film. But other than that, I mean, what, in your opinion, you know, what's your guesstimation how this movie's gonna play out for the Batman?
Have they talked about a villain other than Catwoman?
No. They haven't talked about the villain yet. I think they said they're still in casting for the villain. Catwoman, Batman have been hired. Robert Pattinson, Batman, Catwoman's already.
If it's only Batman and Catwoman, I think they could kind of do like a story where like Batman is trying to figure out who's been committing all these crimes and stuff, and eventually like he starts kind of like, well, he meets Catwoman, and then he's like, well, she's not like such a bad person and stuff, and then it's kind of like a romance kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like, well, he tries to arrest her and stuff, and then like he lets her go.
But hopefully they're actually looking for an October 2021 release on that one as well. So hopefully everything gets tied up real good. And
do you know any like comics where like this they can kind of play off?
I feel like they can really, if they're doing Batman, I think they're going with like year one Batman. But what I really wanted to see, this is why I wanted Ben Affleck in the Batsuit, because I really want to see the Dark Knight Returns. You know, it takes place after 10 years after Death in the Family, where they killed Jason Todd. Batman hung up his moniker as Batman. Bruce just became an alcoholic through the whole movie, through the whole comic book, and he's actually suicidal. So he's looking for his own death, but he wants a good death. And which is actually, this is where they fucked up. Because in that comic book, that's where we actually see the fight with Superman and Batman. And it's actually really compelling. If you read the comic book, it's very strong. We actually get to see Joker's death and how he dies. And we actually get to see Batman kill someone. But that's what the movie I want. I feel like they're going to go off year one. They're going to kind of hit around like the new ones that are coming out. I heard that they're thinking about doing Batman series, live action series. So we all know Gotham kind of failed on Batman. And then we have Batwoman, which starred Ruby Rose. I don't know if you know, she actually quit Batwoman. But she quit on personal and health reasons. She actually got injured during the thing, and she actually had to have spinal surgery. So that's why she actually relinquished the title. They're actually looking into that, and they're thinking about playing in Bruce in there somehow. Because in Supergirl, they actually had one of the original Supermans on there as well. So I think that's what they're going to do. This one, like I said, it has to be like year one. But I feel like it's going to be, they're going to try to be dark, gritty, like everything that Batman the Animated Series was. But less kid friendly. Other than that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that are coming out. Also, we are actually getting 3 superhero releases this year. And that's going to be New Mutants, that's coming out August 28th. I can't wait for that one. That's been on hold so many times.
I think they had rewrites and stuff like that.
They had rewrites, they had reversions.
Like the audience screens for that, they thought it was like too weird or something like that.
Something like that. But this is why, because they're trying to make it more into a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a good thing, because now they're trying to add horror elements to stories of heroes. So that's coming out August 28th, 2020. Hopefully that stays that date. Wonder Woman is coming out on October 2nd. Wonder Woman 1984. We see Gal Gadot reprise the role as Wonder Woman Diana. We also see Chris Pine come back as well. Kristen Wiig I believe she's gonna play Cheetah. We're gonna actually see
Oh
Cheetah.
yeah, I had heard about that.
But we also get to see Golden Wonder Woman in this one, so I don't know what to expect. I feel like it's gonna be major, and also Black Widow. It's coming out in also I believe in October or November. So we've been waiting for this movie to come out, but due to the isolation, it got pushed back. I don't. It's actually supposed to introduce a new Black Widow since in Endgame. Spoiler alerts. If you didn't see, but we saw Natasha sacrifice herself to get the Infinity Stone. So they're in this one. They're gonna go ahead and try to bring a new Black Widow in. What do you feel like? How do you think this gonna go on Black Widow? Do you think it's gonna?
I think it'll do pretty good. Marvel's been pretty good at like their template of like making superhero movies.
I feel like I think I'm gonna be more heartbroken that Scarlett Johansson's not gonna be Black Widow, but I am so happy to see her get out of that role because she's been getting so much shit. She's been sexualized as a dominant female. Basically, there's someone who said, "Oh, she's the greatest dominatrix ever," but that's kind of demeaning to her because everybody's just looking at what her body is and her tits and her ass. But
I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
I'm not gonna lie, I look at it too, but I look at how she has developed as the character throughout the whole series of Marvel.
Honestly, I mean, I never liked Black Widow.
Okay, Jeremy Renner.
No, like, I don't know, she annoys me. Like, she always seems like, oh yeah, I know what's going on. Like, I don't know, it seems like she knows like too much of what's going on. Like, she has some kind of like sixth sense or something.
She is a spy, so she kind of knows a lot of secret, which is why we saw her kind of take down S.H.I.E.L.D. in the other movies. But I'm really hoping for these Marvel movies to come out. I feel like we really need them. They can bring us together and all that stuff. But in your opinion, what do you see that the Marvel Universe is going now?
Well, they had talked about Celestials.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get the Eternals.
And then they're bringing in the whole multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is apparently coming out on the Disney Plus app. I don't know if you know that, but there's a lot of stuff coming out on Disney Plus. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we are supposedly seeing the rebirth of Baron Zemo. So we're going to see the Baron come back. How far do you think these? I feel like these Marvel movies are going to actually come to an end. So.
Well, yeah, eventually the audience can get like oversaturated with superhero movies. But I think they want to go for like one big like another Thanos kind of thing.
Another saga.
Yeah. So eventually, like, I think it'll just like rebound. Like when they start building up all this hype for the next big villain, it'll just kind of rebound.
Yeah, and which gets me thinking: are we gonna see the Beyonder come out? Are we gonna see the Secret Wars? Are we gonna see a black suit Spider-Man?
I think eventually we will.
Because I want that white.
We still have the next Venom to look forward to.
Oh yes, and Morbius too. While we're talking about it.
And I think they even had like hinted at like a Sinister Six. Like they still want to do a Sinister Six with Spider-Man.
Yeah, because in the trailer for Morbius we see Vulture come out and he's broken out of jail. So that looks very interesting. That looks promising. I'm very excited. Of course, I think we got a name for Spider-Man 3, and of course you know how much has been in production hell between Sony and Fox, Sony and Marvel and Disney. They've been fighting over the rights of Spider-Man. Now we're finally seeing them come together and just waiting to finish it off. But this gets me thinking: are we going to see Peter Parker die in this one?
You better. That's how I'm gonna get to.
Well, I don't know. In the comics, Peter Parker does die.
I think eventually we're going to see a Miles Morales live-action movie.
And he actually was mentioned in Homecoming. I don't know if you know, but Donald Glover, when he's in that parking lot and he gets wet to the thing,
Yeah.
he says, I'm helping you because my nephew lives here. So that means that Donald Glover was playing the Prowler. Are you, like, what are you looking forward to as in movies and stuff to come out? Are you looking to have everything go back to how it usually was back then, or just, like, see if what comes out brand new?
I kind of want to watch like the new stuff, like what's that one movie where like they're all quiet and stuff, The Quiet Place?
Oh, part 2?
Yeah, part 2 is coming out, so I want to see where that goes.
I really want to see, if you watch the first episode, that movie Antlers I talked about, and I actually found out more about it. They're actually going off a Native American horror story, which came off Supernatural in the first season, the second episode, The Wendigo.
Oh, The Wendigo, yeah.
Which is funny because I rewatched that episode. Bro, I was scared. I was fucking scared. And then I played my game Until Dawn, which talks about the Wendigo as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the horror movies. But I actually think we should have more Hispanic culture come in, because they came out with that movie La Llorona, The Curse of La Llorona, but I feel like they didn't do it justice. I feel like we should have more like Native American horror stories and like Latino horror stories, because there's the Chupacabra. What other ones have you heard of? I know La Llorona has been El Copuy, but other than that, I mean, do you have anything you're looking forward to or anything like that?
I mean, Bill and Ted.
Right. Hey, what other icons that you want to see be brought back?
I mean, definitely George Carlin. I want him to be mentioned in somehow. I read the other day that they were gonna have some homage to like Rufus and like his whole like character,
like a memorial.
Yeah. They were gonna name one of the characters after his real life daughter.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, for real? That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So I hope they do him justice, just because he was a great comedian, and also like Rufus kind of like I don't know, like he was kind of like the kind of like the father figure of the movie. Like even though you didn't really see him that much, you kind of felt like he was like the guy like in charge of Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, like they're the master. Well, alright, you motherfuckers, that's all we're gonna have for you today. Of course, thank you so much for joining us on the Gruesome Element. I'm right here on the Multipass of Paradise channel. But if you like what you hear, please hit that like button, and so that way we know you don't touch yourself at night. Also, go down below, comment, and let us know that you want to watch the world burn with us. And I'm sure. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you click that bell, and if you want to see the latest videos and content. But if that doesn't pique your interest, well, there goes your social life.